Long ago, in a peaceful little village, an old farmer lived with his only son. The father was hardworking and responsible, but his son was lazy and careless. Every morning, the father woke up early and went to work in the fields. His son, however, stayed in bed until late morning. After waking up, he spent the entire day wandering around the village. One day, the father realized that simply telling his son to work harder would not change him. He decided to teach his son an important lesson that he would never forget. The father opened an old wooden cupboard and took out an antique watch that he had kept safely for many years. The father called his son and said gently, "Take this watch to the market. Ask people how much they think it is worth." The young man went to the village market and showed the watch to many people. He asked each person how much they would pay for it. One person said the watch was worth 500 coins. Another said 800. Someone else offered 1,000. Everyone saw a different value in the same watch. When the son returned home, he told his father, "Everyone gave me a different price. Nobody agreed on the exact value." The next morning, the father gave his son the same watch and said, "Go back to the market, but this time don't ask about the price of the watch. Ask them how much the time inside the watch is worth." At the market, the young man asked the strange question. Some people laughed at him. Others thought he was foolish and told him to leave. At the far end of the market, the young man discovered a small watch shop. An old watchmaker was sitting inside, carefully repairing an antique clock. The young man asked the old watchmaker the same question. The old man stopped working and smiled kindly. He said, "My boy, time has no price. Even if you had millions of coins, you could never buy back a single second that has already passed." The old watchmaker continued, "Every person receives the same 24 hours each day. The rich have 24 hours. The poor have 24 hours. The difference is how they choose to use them." The young man's eyes filled with understanding. For the first time, he realized that his biggest problem was not a lack of time. It was the way he had been wasting it. The young man thanked the old watchmaker and hurried home. He wanted to tell his father everything he had learned. When the father heard the whole story, he smiled proudly. He placed his hand on his son's shoulder and said nothing. He knew his son had finally understood. From that day forward, the young man's life changed completely. He began waking up early, working hard, learning new skills, and helping his father. Every day, he became more productive. He learned that time cannot be stored or saved for later, but it can be used to build a better future. Dear friends, time is the one thing every person receives equally. Whether you are rich or poor, young or old, you are given 24 hours every day. You cannot buy time. You cannot stop it, and once it is gone, you can never bring it back. So do not waste your precious moments. Use today wisely, because every second that passes becomes a part of your life that will never return.